Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome back to the Curvy E Chronicles. My name is Courtney and I'm so glad you found your way to my little corner of the internet. Friends, it is time for our January monthly closeout. This is coming to you late. Life happened, things happened, sick kids. Here we go. Let's dive in. Okay, per normal, we're going to start over here on this side of things in my goals, to-dos, all of those things. So we'll start off with our goals for the month, per normal. If I can grab the right color pen. I ended up reading 7 books. Look at me go. Starting the year off strong. You know, I find I always tend to read a ton in the wintertime, like especially January, February. Just the last 2 years, it seems to be where I really kill it on the books. And I think that's how I'm consciously fighting my seasonal depression. So we did not walk 10 miles. We didn't walk anywhere. We didn't do anything. I did not get my treadmill out. But I will say February is already off to a better start. And we are working on that. And I did not do YouTube Live. We'll get there. We're going to get there. I did do all of my to-dos though. So I finished my planner, added in some tracking sheets, I organized my desk, and we got all of our Christmas decorations down. I ended up finding, and don't ask me why, one of my late night scrolling sessions, I ended up finding these, and I'm going to show you guys. Let me get to them. These sheets of it's like a bullet journal. I found the templates on Etsy, and I'll leave them linked down below, but it's been kind of fun to daily keep track of things. And really, it's kind of helping me with some of my goals. So anyway, that was part of the tracking sheets I was adding in. All right, now let's dive into our budget piece. Okay, zoomed in too much. Good grief. Okay, so let's start first and foremost by adding up our income. So income is going to be a little bit less than we expected. It might be around the same actually. Well, we'll be pretty dang close. So let's do that real quick. Oh, 6806.27. So pretty dang close. 806.27. We ended up having a little bit less one week. My husband had to take a day off, had to use some sick leave, didn't get per diem. We had some car issues, all the fun things. So I think we didn't do too bad. Next up, I'm going to go through and add up all of bills. I do fill this all in as things come out to make sure everything's coming out of our account and all the bills are getting paid. So let me add all this up and see how things fared. Okay, so we came in at under $2377.66, which is great. We saved $2,400 in our month ahead, which is what all covers all of these bills. And so that means all of those were taken care of. Now we're going to jump into these other things, to see where we landed. So, our city card, we ended up only doing $700, for the month to that. And that is just additional beyond our gas, our Costco, our gas and Costco, because we're still using the card for those things to get the cash back on it, but I'm budgeting them out differently to kind of keep track of how we're doing it. Now, in January, things were a little bit different, so yes, we did put aside money for that, but there were a couple weeks we went without a paycheck, so obviously those areas were over budget, but it might not make sense to you, but it makes sense to me, and that's just how that's just how we're doing things. Okay, groceries, let's see here. We were over, we did do $305. I ended up doing $40 2 weeks in a row, and that came from our savings. Cody did get his 90, and then eating out was over. We ended up doing 50 because, we had a big long day where we were getting everybody got their haircut. I was getting my nails done and all of the things. So it ended up being more. Let me add that up really quick. Okay, so we were over budget there for $44.55, which that's fine. I kind of figured we'd be there. Now, jumping down here. So this is where, and mind you, when we do our monthly budgets, when I set up our monthly budget, I am doing it as a guideline to see if we can make said goals happen. They don't always happen. So that's why I'm doing the closeout to see where we went over, where we need to do better, things like that. So looking at this, gas, we did do $4.80. Again, that's just what we set aside from each paycheck. I need to go through and see. I know we stuck to this because I didn't do as much driving as I normally do. But I have to itemize out our statement from the city card, and it hasn't cut yet for that one. We did do $375 for our Costco, and we were able to actually stay under budget with that, which is great. Miscellaneous got $75. We spent some of it. I just am keeping it in our buffer right now to either help build our buffer up, number one, or number two, just there for extra things. And then we hit the goals with all these. We did 15 in all of these, 5 a week. Half of these are new. Well, there's quite a few new categories in here. So it was kind of one of those where we're just trying to get some funds in there. We'll eventually slowly build up. Gifts, we ended up doing more. We ended up putting 40 in there. Reason being, we had multiple birthdays come up that I was not prepared for. And then birthdays, we also put more in there because Clayton's birthday's coming up, and I still don't know what we're going to do. So there's that. Family photos got its 15. Pets did get its 90. Garden got 17 because I was tired of the odd number because we haven't been selling any eggs, though I do now have eggs to sell. Go figure. 15 there. Nails, we ended up only doing 50 just because we were already kind of ahead in that envelope, so I just did what I needed to and called it good. Wax got the 45 like we thought, and then hair actually got more. It got 65 because we ended up needing more, and I'm glad I did that. And then as far as long-term savings go, we only did 200. Just with how certain things fell, we only ended up putting 200 in there, and we put 100 to our propane and 100 to our car maintenance. We ended up spending both of those. So fun. And then vacation did get its 15, so we're looking pretty good there. And then challenges, we only did 47. So let's add all this up, see where it falls, and then we're going to see how the budget shook out. January was a weird month for us. I'm not really like holding it to a grain of salt for the pure fact that we were missing 2 weeks of pay, and it's the new year. We're trying to get started and just kind of figure out this kind of new thing. So let's add this up real quick. Okay, so that total came out to $34.17. So now we're going to shove everything into this little box. Let me zoom you guys in a little bit more on that. I'll use my colors. So we ended... Okay, so technically it's showing that we were over budget $133.39. But... I think that some of that came from our, like, some of it was from our savings, some of it was from, like, that 800. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at how that all kind of pans out, because something doesn't, I mean, obviously the numbers match, but I don't know exactly where that all came from. Anyway. This is why we do this. I'll eventually figure it out. So 133. You know what? We might have had more in my buffer than I realized, and we just spent more of it because we were a little bit over. But I don't know. I mean, obviously with our weekly budgets, it maps out. But anyway, that is kind of what we're looking at. I'm going to have to do some math on the back end. My brain's starting to hurt. Anyway, friends, that's all she wrote for today's closeout. I hope you guys appreciate it. I'm starting to get a lot better at these things and figuring out, you know, where we're at, what we're looking at, all of that. So if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out, hit that subscribe button. And friends, as always, remember to spread kindness like glitter. Bye, y'all.